Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Juan. I'm a yarn addict, hence the name Juan the Yarn Addict, and I want to thank each and every one of you guys for stopping by to check out my video today. This is a yarn and crochet channel where we talk about all things yarn and all things crochet, so if that interests you, please stick around and watch my video because it's definitely going to be interesting. Today I offer you another installment of my Spin the Wheel series. So what this is it's a series that I've created where I'm allowing the wheel to dictate the pattern for me for a project of my choice. The first installment was a beanie, and this was what became of it. It was a 5-row sequence. I believe we had double crochets, front loop double crochets, we had popcorn stitch, and we had a V-stitch. So that's what became of the first project here. A few of you guys followed me and made the hat. I definitely appreciate it. It's giving crown vibes. One of the pie slices actually had your choice, and for some unknown reason, I chose the popcorn stitch. Lesson learned. It's definitely not for a project like this because you just don't know where that popcorn stitch will land. So, yeah. Today, I'm offering you guys a little bit of like a tutorial. It's a spin the wheel series. You can follow me. You can just watch me. Grab a whip, grab a snack, grab something to drink. This is going to be fun. The caveat to today's episode is that my mom very graciously offered me some of her illustrious pink yarn. So for this episode, I'm going to make another beanie, but I'm going to be making a beanie with some pink yarn. And I do have some accent colors here that I'm going to throw in with it, if it's appropriate. I have some lavender, and I also have some gray leftover loops and threads from previous projects. So depending on what this tells us, it will literally depict how we lay out the color work. So let me go ahead and move the camera over into tutorial mode and we'll do our spins, okay? So just sit tight, I'll be back in 1 second. Hi friends, so I'm back. If you noticed, I actually went ahead and changed the wheel. So I made this a little more friendly for the tutorial aspect of my video. So whether you're left-handed or right-handed crocheter, you won't have to see any letters, backwards. So the breakdown is as follows. So this is a single crochet. This is a double crochet. This is a half double crochet. This is a treble crochet. This is a puff stitch. This is a V-stitch. And this is a front post double crochet. And then it repeats itself back to a single crochet. Okay? So we're going to spin the wheel 5 times. And let's see where that takes us. Here's spin number 1. Okay, front post double crochet is where we end up here. Let me just write that down so I don't forget. Okay, and now spin number 2 for row 2. Okay, where did that land? Okay, double crochet. Double crochet. So that's row 2 of our situation here. Okay, now spin 3. Puff stitch. Interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. Puff stitch. All right, and now spin 4 for row 4 of our pattern. Single crochet. Okay, and last but definitely not least, let's go ahead and give this another spin. Okay, so that is a half double crochet, half double. Okay, so we have front post double crochet, puff stitch, a single crochet, and a half double crochet. All right, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and make some adjustments, and I'll see you in 1 second. Okay, friends, so I'm back. I cleared the table, and we're ready to get this started. I decided I'm going to go ahead and make a basic crown on this one, and I'm going to use gray, Loops and Threads gray. It's a 4-weight yarn. If you're following me, I recommend that you use any 4-weight yarn, and you can follow that up with the hook size recommended on the label, or you can use what I'm using, which is 6mm USJ. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a slip knot on our hook. And however you do that is fine, as long as the result is this. And from here, we're going to go ahead and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to insert the head of our hook into the first chain, grab our yarn, and slip all the way through. Pull on your working yarn and the loop on your hook to tighten that up to create a circle here. Okay, and from here, you want to chain 2. 1, 2. Hold on to your tail with your middle finger and your thumb, or however you do it. And from here, you want to go ahead and insert 12 double crochets. 2, 3, 4. And continue on, and I'll see you at the end here. Okay, friends, so once you verified that you had 12 double crochets here, not including your chain 2, you want to go ahead and insert the head of your hook into the first double crochet right here. Grab your yarn and slip through, chain 1, and then what you want to do from here is you want to insert 2 double crochets in every stitch. So starting with the stitch you just came out of, go ahead and do 2 double crochets. And then 2 double crochets in the next one. And 2 double crochets in the next one. And you want to go ahead and repeat that all the way around for a total of 24 double crochets, 2 in each of the 12 from the previous row here. Okay? I'll see you when we get back at the end. Okay, friends, so once you verified that you have 24 double crochets, this is kind of where you need to be. And from here, what you want to do is insert the head of your hook into the first double crochet of the round, and then slip through to lock everything into place, and you should look like that. Okay, from here you want to chain 1, and for round 3 here, you want to start off with 1 double crochet in the very first stitch you just came out of, just like that. Okay, and then in the next one, you want to insert 2 double crochets. And then in the next one, just 1. And then in the next one, 2 double crochets. And that's the repeat of this round. It's going to be 1 and then 2. Just like that. Okay? So go ahead and repeat that. And you want a total of 36 stitches. And I shall see you at the end of round 3. Okay, friends, so I'm at the end of round 3, and you should have a total of 36 stitches, ending in a stitch with 2 double crochets. So to begin round 4, what you want to do is insert the head of your hook into the very first double crochet of round 3, pull through, and chain 1, just like that. So for round 4, we want 48 stitches. So in order to achieve that, what we want to do is insert a double crochet in the very first stitch we just came out of, and then insert another double crochet next to it, just like that. And then in the next stitch, 2 double crochets. Whoops. Just like that. And then in the next stitch, just 1 double crochet. And then in the next one after that, just 1. And then in the next one, 2. So that's kind of the pattern here. So it's going to be 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, all the way around. 1, 1, 2. 1 and 2. Okay, just like that. 1, 1, 2. So go ahead and do that for a total of 48 stitches, and I will meet you at the end of round 4. Okay friends, so here I am at the end of round 4 with 48 stitches, and you should have ended with 2 double crochets in the last stitch there. So to close this off, we're going to insert the head of our hook into that very first double crochet right there. Grab your yarn, pull through, slip to close, and chain 1. So for round 5, we want 60 stitches. So in order to achieve that, we want to do a double crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Whoops. And then in that 4th stitch, we want 2 double crochets in the 4th stitch there. Okay, and we're going to repeat that. So the next 3 stitches will receive 1 double crochet apiece. And then in that 4th one, it's going to have 2 double crochets. Okay, and we're going to repeat that one more time. So the next 3 stitches get 1 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. And in that 4th one, it gets 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. Go ahead and repeat that, and I will meet you at the end of round 5 with 60 stitches. Okay friends, so here we are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 rounds, 60 stitches. You should have ended with 2 double crochets in that last stitch. And then to close this off, we want to go ahead and insert the head of our hook into the very first double crochet, grab the yarn and slip through. Okay, let's just pause for a second. What we want to do is just measure. So I'm just going to take a quick measurement here. All right, 7 inches, it's perfect. So we're not going to expand any further, and that is basically our crown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut off the gray, and I'm going to go ahead and add in, let's see, I'm going to add in the fuchsia. And so let's go ahead and get that started. So to add the color, what I do is pull back, just like that. Insert the head of our hook back into that stitch. Bring the yarn over here. Okay, so instead of grabbing with the gray, I'm going to grab with the pink. However you do that is fine. Just make sure that the pink is the one that comes through. And then just flip it over here like that. Grab your tail, both tails here. Just tie lightly. Make sure you have the right amount of tension on your hook. Once that has been achieved, then go ahead and do another knot or another tie, but this time you can go tight, just like that. This, my friends, will be the inside of the hat, so it's okay that it sits there like that, okay? So now we can chain 1, and here we are. So in the wheel, the first pie slice that we drew up was the front post double crochet. So to get started here, what we're going to do is we're going to front post right around here. So this was our chain 1 double crochet situation. So we're going to go ahead and wrap around, go down and around. Let's make sure we get that tail out of there. There we go. Grab our yarn, come through, do a double crochet, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to go around. Just like that. We're going to go around each and every stitch from the previous row, going in and around, grabbing our yarn and just doing a double crochet, just like that. Go ahead and continue doing that, and I will see you at the end of round 6 with 60 stitches. Okay, friends, so I just arrived at the end of round 6, and we have 60 front post double crochets. So this is what the outside of the hat looks like, and that's what the inside of it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and connect to the very first front post double crochet by inserting my hook to the top of that stitch. I'm going to pull through and slip just like that and chain 1. Okay, so the second one we drew was double crochet. Okay, so here what we're going to do is go right back into the stitch we came out of, and we're going to keep the same color of fuchsia, and we're going to go into every stitch with a double crochet, just like that. Okay, so continue on with that, and I will see you at the end of round 7, 60 stitches. Okay, friends, so I just landed at the end of round 7. Round 7 was all double crochets. So to end the round, I'm just going to insert my hook into the very first double crochet right here, pull my yarn through and slip, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this off because the next stitch is the puff stitch, and to tie in the gray here, I'm going to have gray puffs going around here. So let me go ahead and cut this tail off, or cut the yarn off to make a tail, I'm sorry. So there's that. Let me get this out of the way. Okay, so we're back to the gray. So to join, I'm going to pull that out and then insert my hook back into that last stitch there, just like that. And then let me get my yarn ready here. Go back into that stitch and pull the gray through and through the loop. And then I'm going to flip my work just like that, where I have this tail and I have this tail here. And I'm going to go ahead and tie that just lightly right now. And then let me make sure my tension's right with my working yarn. And then I'm going to go ahead and do another tie here. This tie will be tight though. There we go, just like that. Okay. Let me just grab the right one here. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to chain 1. All right, and as I mentioned, for round 3, well, rotation 3 of the 5, it's a puff stitch. That's what I was getting at. Okay, so to do the puff stitch, you're going to yarn over, go in and pull through, yarn over, go in, pull through, yarn over, go in and pull through, and then yarn over, go in and pull through. So you should have, let's see how many is here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay. So 9 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through all of them. Chain 1 to lock, chain 1 to move on. Then we're going to skip the next stitch and we're going to go into the next one here. Yarn over, go in, pull through, yarn over, go in, pull through, yarn over, go in, pull through, and yarn over, go in and pull through. With 9 hoops on your hook here, yarn over and go through all 9. Chain 1 to lock, chain 1 to move on. Let's do it one more time. So yarn over, you're doing 4 of these, by the way, 4 yarn overs. So yarn over, go in, pull through, yarn over, and yarn over 4 times. Pull through, chain 1 to lock, chain 1 to move on. And so that's what that's going to look like in every other stitch going all the way around. And what you want to have are 30 puff stitches. And I will meet you at the end of round 8. Okay friends, so I made it to the end of round 8. So I have 30 puff stitches going around our project here. And I'm going to change back to the fuchsia. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a nice decent tail here. So we'll have that. And then let me grab this fuchsia. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and insert the head of my hook in this stitch right here. I'm going to grab the fuchsia and pull through. Then I'm going to go through the gray. I'm going to lay my work down like this. I'm going to grab these 2 tails here and just pull and tighten everything up. Just like that. Get my working yarn, make sure the tension's good there, and then go back to the 2 tails and tie nice and tight. Just like that. And chain 1. Okay. So the 4th pie slice we drew up was single crochet. So we're going to go ahead and insert a single crochet, the stitch we just came out of. So we're looking for 60 single crochets around here for round 9. So yeah. So we're going to do a single crochet on the puff, next to the puff, on the puff, next to the puff, all the way around. So that's next to the puff, and then now on the puff, next to the puff, on the puff, just like that. So go ahead and do that for a total of 60 single crochets for round 9, and I will meet you at the end here. Okay friends, so here I am at the end of round 9, and so to close off round 9, I'm going to insert my hook into the very first single crochet, slip through, pull on my working yarn there, chain 1. And so the 5th pie slice we drew off the wheel was a half double crochet. So what we're going to do is loop over and go into that very first stitch and do a half double crochet all the way around for round 10 for 60 stitches, half double crochet in every stitch, just like this. Okay, so continue doing this, and I will see you at the end of round 10. Okay guys, so I am here at the end of round 10. I just finished, I finished 60 half double crochets. So to finish the round, we're just going to go ahead and insert the head of our hook into that very first stitch, slip through, chain 1. Okay, so now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the powder pink. So let's just see how this works out here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go back to the first one, which was a front post double crochet. So let me go ahead and cut the old yarn off, move that out of the way, and let's get this powder pink in the situation here. Okay. There we go. So, oops, let's pull that out and separate it. There we go. So what we want is that. Then we're going to insert the head of our hook into the very first stitch, grab our pink, pull it into the other pink, and then let's turn this over like before. Let's just give this a light tie. Let's tug on our working yarn, just make sure it's nice and smooth there. And then the second tie should be tight. Just like that. Okay. Oops. So this very first row again is front post double crochets. So we're going to go ahead and chain one. And we're going to go around the chain one and the half double crochet from the previous row. Okay? So let's just go ahead and do that. Let's make sure not to grab any of the old tails there. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do front post double crochets all the way around, just like this. And I will see you at the end of this round, which is round 11. Nice. Okay, friends, so I just finished round 11. I'm going to go ahead and close that off by going into the first front post double crochet and slipping through just like that. And then I'm going to chain one. And the second stitch in our rotation here is a double crochet. So I'm going to go back into that same stitch, do a double crochet. I'm going to do a double crochet in every row, or every chain, every stitch for 60 stitches. Just like that. Okay, so continue doing that, and I will see you at the end of the round for round 12. Okay, so here I am at the end of round 12. We're going to go ahead and change back to the gray so we can have a constant. We can tie in the gray. So let me go ahead and grab the scissors and go ahead and cut off right there. And let's grab the gray, insert the head of our hook into that first stitch, grab the gray, pull through and pull through, and then like before, let's just make sure we're not pulling on the working yarn, we're pulling on the tail here. Okay, so let's go ahead and tie lightly, and then let's make sure working yarn has some nice leverage there. Okay, good. And then let's do another tie here, but this time tight. Slip back around. Chain one. Okay, so now, let's see, for row 13 or round 13, it's the puff stitch. Sorry, had to get my thoughts together here. And so what we want to do is we're going to loop over 4 times. So loop over, go in and pull. It's 2, loop over, pull. 3, loop over and pull. 4, loop over and pull. So you should have 9 loops on your hook here. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9. Loop over and go through all of them. Chain 1 to lock, chain 1 to move on. And you're going to go ahead and skip that stitch and go right into this one right here. So skip and then go here. You're going to do the 4. So loop over, go in, loop over, go in, loop over, go in, loop over, go in. 9 loops, loop over, pull through everything, chain 1 to lock, chain 1 to move on. Let's do it one more time. So we're going to skip this one and go to this one. 4 loop overs, okay? Loop over, go in and pull, 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 and there should be 9, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Then go through all of that, chain 1 to lock, chain 1 to move on. Okay, continue doing that like we did down here, and you should have 30 puffs. All right, so I will see you at the end of this round, which is round 13. Okay, friends, so I just ended round 13, and so I chained 1 to lock, chained 1 to move on, but I'm going to change back to this powder pink. And so I'm going to cut, sorry about that, guys. I'm going to go ahead and cut the yarn off, bring the new color on. Okay, so I'm going to insert my hook into the stitch right here. I'm going to grab this pink, pull through, and then pull through the gray. And like every other time, we turn it over. And let's see here. So this is our working yarn. This is our tail from the old color here. It's just a lot of tails along the way here. And this is our pink tail. Okay, so just give everything a nice gentle tug. Okay, tie tightly. And then tie again, nice and firm. Okay, so there we have it. And then we're going to go ahead and chain 1 once I can find this working yarn here. There's a lot of ends in there. Okay, chain 1. Okay, so for round 14 we have single crochet, and like before down here we're going to go into the puff and next to the puff, in the puff, next to the puff, for 60 single crochets. So we're going to go ahead and go back into where we just came from for a single crochet, and then we're going to go next to the puff, and then in the puff, whoops, slipped right on out there, in the puff, next to the puff, in the puff, next to the puff. We're going to continue doing that all the way around for round 14, 60 stitches of the single crochet. Okay, and I will see you at the end of round 14. Okay, friends, so I just ended round 14, all single crochets, and you should have ended in between the puffs here. So for the next one, it's going to be half double crochets for round 15. So let's go ahead and go into the very first single crochet, and then slip and chain 1, and then we're going to do half double crochets in every stitch for 60 stitches, just like that. Sorry about that. Just like that. Okay, go ahead and do that, and I'll see you at the end of round 15 for 60 half double crochets. Okay, friends, so I just finished round 15. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to introduce the gray again, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the brim. So I'm going to continue with the half double crochets, but I'm going to work in the second and third loop. So this is the first loop, that's the second loop, and if you tilt over, that's the third one. So if you tilt your needle down while you're crocheting, you will naturally just pick up the second and third loop. Okay, so let me just go ahead and pull this out just like that. And I'm going to introduce the gray again. Oops, forgot this part. Insert the head of your hook into the first stitch. Pull the gray through, and then through the powder pink. Turn over. And then let's go ahead and cut off the old color. Okay. Here's the beginning of the gray. Okay. Just give everything a little bit of a tug here. Tie over gently, and then pull on the working yarn just so that there's enough play there. And then go back, give this a nice tight tie. Just like that. Okay. We're going to chain one. Just like that. And then we're going to loop over, go into the middle here and into the third. Just like that. You should have two pinks on there. Yep. Grab the gray and then go through the two hoops there, the two loops, sorry. So if you angle your hook down as you're going through a knot across, you'll pick up that second and third, just like that. And if you're following me and you don't feel comfortable doing that, then you can do your standard. You can go through the regular way. I'm just giving this some texture here. So I am actually going to go ahead and do 3 rounds in the gray, just like that, just like this. And I will see you when I come back. So it's going to be 16, 17, and 18. 3 rows in the gray, just like this, in the second and third loop. Once you get the hang of it, it goes pretty quick. It's not difficult at all. And you get this little ribbing effect here. It looks really nice. Okay, so I'll see you in a couple of rounds. 15, 16, and 17. 3 rows. Be right back. Okay, friends, so I am back. So 16, 17, and 18, right? Yeah. 16, 17, 18 I did in the gray, and here I am at the end. So we're going to insert the head of our hook into that first stitch, slip through, and chain 2. And then I'm going to create a tail by cutting off there. Leave yourself about that much room. Then what you want to do is pull the needle just like that. You want to take your index finger and your thumb above the yarn and slide down and pull on the working yarn, and it creates a double knot just like that. Then you want to grab your darning needle here, fold over, insert through the eye. Let me try that again. Okay, there we go. I've taken the liberty of sewing everything else in. Excuse me. So that's the last of what we have to do here. All of my stuff inside there is taken care of. So let's go ahead and go through the fibers here. There we go. So I use a zigzag technique here. So I think of the letter Z. Doesn't matter which direction, as long as we do letter Z. Make sure to try and grab some fibers along the way. And then let's go back. There we go. Okay, and let's just go ahead and cut that off. Just like that. And there we are, my friends. Let me back this up. So that is our creation, and actually it turned out quite nice. I actually like this one. We'll name this Pink Paradise. I had such a nice time making this. Okay. So let me go ahead and meet you back in presentation mode. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so we did it. It actually looks really nice. I do have some takeaways though. I think what I would have done, this is the inside actually. What I would have done was, okay, so the rows that I had the front post double crochets, I think what I would have done had I had a chance to do this again, I would have flipped it around so that the ribbing was on the outside of the hat and not on the inside. I'm one for ribbing, I kind of like that, but nonetheless, it turned out really nice. Pink Paradise. I mean, it's simple, you know what I mean? It's nothing too extravagant, but for me to be working with pink, for me, this is a moment. Okay, so the moment of truth, I'm going to put this on. Oh, goodness gracious. I can't. Okay. It's very pink. I like the puff stitches. Nice. Okay, so there you have it, guys. It's hard to take myself serious looking at me wearing this pink, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let's power through this one. Let's power through this. Okay. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, please hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already subscribed. There's tons of fun. We do all sorts of things. We do all the things. So if that interests you, please stick around, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell to stay updated with everything regarding me and my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. So that's all I have. So until the next one, guys, take care and have a good one. Bye-bye.